Hi, and welcome to my very awkward intro. My name is Susan/Bambi, and this is Bambi's Rambles. Okay, a couple of things before we start. I don't know, video starts at 75 minutes, 0.5, I don't know. Anyway, I have no makeup on and my hair needs to be toned. I don't want to talk about it, okay? I don't want to talk about it. I have had like 3 hours sleep and I'm so tired. So I'm in a mood today. And for the past 2 days, I have been watching the shit show that is fake social justice warriors, or the ones that they're not fake. I believe they have some sort of capacity where they do give a shit morally about what's going on in the world. And I can understand and appreciate it. But then you fuck up your whole movement by reaching. Now, I have a lot of new subscribers. My husband just sent me a message. He said he loved me. How sweet. Anyway, Jose unsubscribed. My husband unsubscribed to me where he found out I made a video talking about Sloan. He unsubscribed, friends. When we start talking about, fighting for survivors, fighting for this, fighting for that, we talk about Davy Vanity. We start talking about Onision, Pyrocynical, which we know what happened with that situation now. We talk about all these people. I can understand that, okay? I can get it. I'm not an idiot, okay? I'm not an idiot. But what I don't get is why everyone is magically a survivor and magically has a story to tell that we have to share with the world. Even if it was by far the most reaching things I've ever heard in my fucking life. So, repzilla is reaching as high as his hair is at this point. Do you know what I mean? So this video that I'm actually talking about is... Mind you, I've watched it like 3 times and I've had to watch it on fast speed because I'm sick of hearing about it because it's the most ridiculous thing in the world. And you know what? People might actually unsubscribe and leave me and I'll miss you. I'll miss you terribly. But I'm going to say that people are out here, literally, survivors of fucking Rob Gavagan. Because he was flirty and had exchanged nude images with fans and people he worked with. How are we going to say that is abuse and that is abuse of power? No, these people are not underage. They're not underage. You start talking to someone, you start sending nudes, and then you cry about it via Twitter. Are you out your damn mind? If I was crying every time I'd sent nudes to someone in my early 20s, my God, I'd be crying for the rest of my life. And pumping out, support people on OnlyFans, support people on OnlyFans. He didn't want it from OnlyFans. He was having a flirtatious so-and-so with someone else. He wanted their nudes. They sent him nudes. That is ridiculous. The youngest person you claim in your own video, repzilla, was repzilla. We love repzilla. I'm sorry. I meant repzilla. We love repzilla. Repzilla's my fave. Anyway, no, this is ridiculous now. You're making yourself look fucking foolish because you're saying that this is for... this is for people to share their story. This is for people to save their life. This is for... What do you mean? Oh, and people shouldn't be doing that in their workplace. It's unprofessional. Do you know how many people have met at work together and now they're like married and got babies and shit like that? Oh, well, he shouldn't be doing this to his wife and child. That's for his wife and him to deal with. Not the whole of fucking internet to have a fucking opinion on. They might have an open marriage. She might be out here doing whatever she's doing. What's that got to do with the price of bread, mate? Like, I think this is by far the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard from repzilla. And I really would like to preface this and say, boy, you're going to get yourself sued. You're going to get yourself sued. You're going to be the next Katie Joy. Stop. To say the word survivors, share their story, all those sorts of things. They're grown-ass adults that you know, in the worst of the worst, right? Let's say this is the worst of the worst. Rob Gavian or whatever, Rob is a fuckboy. Stop the presses. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Unsubscribe, leave the Discord, drop everything. Take away his monetization, everything under the sun, because he exchanged nudes and inappropriate messages between fucking adults. Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you out of your mind? That is ridiculous. I'm sorry. And then we end up having this sort of thing where no one takes this shit seriously. Okay, we can go off. Oh, well, people don't need to know what his moral compass is like. Oh, shush, that's silly. Why do you need to subscribe to someone based on their moral compass? Tell me that. Tell me that. Because I can almost guarantee you the man that fucking runs and owns fucking Walmart is probably an asshole who cheats on his wife or does this or does that. But you're still going to Walmart. You're still going to Walmart. He's not running a channel based on his marriage and all these lies about him being a family vlogger and his wife this and his life that and yada, yada, yada. He's talking true crime content. What? That is stupid. You're not stupid. You guys are not stupid. I really don't think anyone is stupid in this situation, but this is silly. You got played by a fuckboy and you're mad about it. This doesn't call for an expose. This doesn't call for an expose at all. So I really love the fact that I've gained a lot of subscribers. Like I enjoy that thoroughly. But it also puts a little bit of pressure where people are like, I kind of feel like this might make people mad at me for feeling this sort of way. Like, you know, it's not that I'm against social justice and things like that, because I'm not. Like, I'm literally not. But let's call people out for being actual predators. Let's call people out for being actual racists. Like, let's actually do the damn thing that we're trying to do. Because when we start, you know, policing people's crappy behavior in every aspect, that's where it becomes a little ridiculous for me. And I'm just like, okay, like, you're getting silly now. You're getting silly now. Like, you know, and he come out and, you know, it's come out and said that his manager responded to it. And he said his wife's fine. Stay out of it. It's all gravy. Don't worry about it. And he's like, well, I find it very interesting that the manager comes out and says it instead of him. That's what managers do. That's what managers do. That's their job. How many times have we had fucking celebrities do some fucked up shit? And then, oh my God. How many times have we had lawyers out here on fucking, you know, the news and doing press conferences and stuff like that? That's what a manager does. A manager handles this sort of stuff. Like, this, Rob does not have a channel run by fucking, you know, run for, you know, beautiful Christian family that, you know, have their morals in place and so on and so forth. He's not making money off the idea that he's a wonderful husband and father, even though we don't know whether that's true or not, but he's not making funds off that. So why does it fucking matter? It is, and I'm not trying to be a bitch. I'm really, really not. But I just have to be honest that it's almost like people like repzilla and fucking Pastel Bell that don't keep the same energy with things, and then they want to cry about the fact that someone is being some sort of way on the internet, call people out, but then they start making up, you know, reaching and making things up and making things bigger than what they are, and, you know, spreading false information and not reaching out to the person they're talking about and so on and so forth. It's ridiculous. And then you have the subscribers like, oh my God, I can't believe it. What do you mean you can't believe it? You can't believe that there's a YouTuber out here that might be in an open marriage that has flirty conversations with someone back and forth, back and forth? You can't believe that? What planet are you on? I have heard this story time and time and time again, and we're going to end up making this into something that it's absolutely not. It's absolutely not. You know, at most, he's a bit of a fuckboy. Does that really need to be called abuse of power, so on and so forth? One of the girls in this quit her job, and he didn't reply. So she's like, oh, that really upset me. That really made me sad. That made me cry and all these things. And I'm just like, you quit, my love. You quit. Like he was like, he was respectful in the fact that that's your decision. Okay, I'm standing back. What do you want me to do about it? You know what I mean? Like, what exactly did you want him to say or do in that instance? And then we start talking about the fact that he's on pills. He takes pills. You're really going to put that in an expose on a true crime YouTuber that they pop pills? Really? Really? That's some, like, you are cross, like this. Okay, I'm going to get to the meat and potatoes of how I feel about this whole thing, social justice warriors, and how I feel about, not even social justice warriors, because it's not that, and I don't feel like that is a bad terminology. It's not, because, you know, people need allies, people need to speak out on things. It's how we learn, that's how we grow, all those sorts of things. But it becomes a problem where people make mountains out of molehills, and it becomes a problem when you reach and you reach and you reach. That's where it becomes a problem, because that's when everyone starts to laugh and be like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. And that's when you get the bad name. That's when the bad things come about. This is what happens. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about, right, is the literal meat and potatoes of this. People like this on YouTube that are commentary channels that call out other channels, call out problematic behavior, so on and so forth. There's a piece of fluff and it's bothering me. All these sorts of things. They talk about the poor choices of what people have done. You know what I mean? The poor choices of YouTubers, so on and so forth, okay? All right, fair. They talk about people that put their children on the internet and don't respect, you know, their children, so on and so forth, and exploitation, so on and so forth. Okay, fair. Screaming and yelling that these people have no boundaries, have abuse of power, so on and so forth. You are literally trampling all over boundaries. You're instilling your moral compass onto others. Do you realize that? Because you're not calling out anything of absolute substance. Now, this might get me a lot of negative feedback or whatever, and that's completely fine. That's completely fine. Like my anti-mummy vloggers one, I learn a lot from that. And I'm so glad that people still love me, still love Bambi out here, but, you know, can politely disagree with me and, you know, let bygones be bygones. But everyone was very respectful and understanding, and which I appreciate. But I'm just really disappointed in the idea that repzilla felt the need to make multiple videos about this Rob thing. I'm sorry. It's too much. Throwing the word around like survivors, the victims, the this, the that. You got played. You're not a victim. You got played. You got played. That's all it is. But I'm sorry, that sounds really nasty, but I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm just trying to say you're fucking up the movement, and you're fucking it up for everybody else that actually has genuine, you know, things happen to them. Okay, this is a shitty thing that happened, but it's not something that calls for, I need to do my roots so bad. It is not something that needs to be an expose. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. I will stand by that. And that's it. You know what I mean? But I have gained 100 and something subscribers in the past few days. And let me tell you something, I am proud as fuck. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate all my subscribers, right? I appreciate all of you. But can I just say, when I get a comment telling me that someone is an Aussie, I die inside. I die inside because I'm like, oh my God, there's not enough of us here. There's not enough of us as Aussies. I start talking about how you going, mate, and, you know, and fucking Vegemite and fucking Woolies, mate, and no one knows what I'm going on about. So thankfully, I've got some Aussies here that will be like, all right. And also I can say Australia's real. We're real. Because you flat earthers are spreading false information saying we aren't real. I'm as real as they come, except for me hair, as fake as they come. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. I'm so sorry that I rambled on in this video, but I just, you know, Bambi's rambles. Anyway, so remember to like, subscribe, share, send a pigeon, dust your furniture, feed your dog, change the kitty litter, don't stop your medication out of nowhere. That ain't good for nobody involved. And I love you all so much. Bye. Mwah.